Samuel Shevsky was a world chess champion. He lived in Crown Heights, and he used to daven at 770. Anyway, since he was there, the Rabbi said, as he used to emphasize very, very many times, as von jeder Sache kann man ablernen a derech in Avodas Hashem. From everything we can learn a way how we can serve Hashem. And from chess, we can also learn how we can serve Hashem.
Kineduber kam upon him the tale from Baal Shem Tov. A jeder Inyan, was a jeder hört, oder der seht, darf ablernen a Inyan, was es ihm gehen, a Avodas Hashem. Wo die Tere verstandig, Gorbe Pashtus, wie bald a jeder Riede beschaffen geworden, lechamisches Keni. Und noch mehr, Leni Vrese, lechamisches Keni. Is jeder Rege von seinem Metzius, darf demut können und ton bepeilen, lechamisch seines Keni.
So the Rebbe said that in a chess game, we have two kinds of players. We have officers, and then we have the plain soldiers. The officer can go in different directions and can jump boxes. They do it in different ways, but they can jump and so on. The plain soldier can only go one box after another, one step at a time. But the pawn, if he reaches the other side, he becomes elevated. He can become elevated even to become a queen. What's the derech in Avodas Hashem? What can we learn here, how we can worship Hashem? We have Malachim, we have angels, and we have Neshamos Yisrael, and we have Jewish souls. Malachim, they can jump from one world to another world, up and back and here and there and up and down. But they always remain in their same position. They always really say, they don't change. However, in the Neshamas Yisrael, they can only go one step after another, one step. But if they fulfill their mission, they become elevated. They can become even a Malka, a Melech not, because only one Melech, Malchi, HaMelachim, HaKodesh Baruch Hu. A king he cannot become, but he can become elevated even to become a queen.
Wie bald hat das bewiesen an Menschen, ist der Keteres Baal Shem Tov HaYedur, ist das Gedei anzuweisen, noch a Hero, was sie zu dienen dem Nebischen noch mehr, bekamus und noch besser beichus.
My father loved science. He was a teacher. He had a master's in chemistry. This letter was in response to my father asking the Rebbe a question, what he should do. He says, Tikvasi achazoka, sheyesh gam shir b'pnimius haTorah, v'gam b'sivosai mashpia b'ha'amah. Your havamin would be, what's your shaykhs to influencing people in learning Hasidus? Well, you're not a professional learner of Hasidus. But the Baal Shem Tov said that you can teach from everything a Jew sees and hears, you can learn from it. In your own profession of chemistry, we find that very often a very small amount of reactant can cause a reaction around it to happen of a large amount of chemicals. And not only that, but the thing itself didn't actually change at all. Uki'inyan hakatalizatar. In English, that's a catalyst. Now, just to explain, there's a phenomenon in chemistry where you want two chemicals to react together. So you have a big bottle, a flask of one, and a flask of the other. You put the two together, and they don't react. Now, the classic catalyst is iron filings, and you just sprinkle them into this flask, and boom, the whole thing happens. It suddenly changes color to show that the reaction has happened. That's what the Rebbe was talking about, that a Yid is a catalyst. We're causing things to happen in the world, but we don't need to be affected by the world to do that. And Mizen and Kleiner mention, we're just bits of nothing, but we can affect the big whole world. That's what he's writing to my father.
Ist das jeder sagt sicher, lebe behargoche Protis, das ist sehr angekommen. Und ist ein Metzies und ein Nivra. Die das dafür dämmelt mich am seiner Skinny, mit dem Inni, was in das Hades geworden, der sehr.
I remember when that letter arrived, the house was electrified. There was an atmosphere in the house. My father got this letter. The Rebbe wrote about chemistry. And from then on, he was bought. He was the Rebbe's Mensch.
In 1950, the Rebbe was walking, and I was with a friend of mine, and he had his son with him. And they were going to Ebbetsfield to a ball game, and I introduced them to the Rebbe. The Rebbe brought up the subject of what's better to be, a ball player or a fan. The Rebbe said, when you're an observer, you may leave in the middle because you think, the team won already, they got 10-5, and you might as well go home because they're the winners. But the ball player has to stay to the end of the game, and he has to finish up. He's gonna wait till the last hit, and he applied it to Judaism. When you're davening and putting on tefillin, you're a player. You're playing with the team.
Was al derich sehr wird da noch a Hero, שנספרסמו, נסגלסו durch den Baal Shem Tov. Danach ist aber נספרסם geworden. Und sie der Grech bis in Kol Tmutzes Israel passen sich auf der Rambe, a Gseris mit Akonis und Minhogis, was angenommen geworden durch Reif Tmutzes Israel, hat aus dem Teike von einer Mitzvah Sesse und einer Mitzvah Sesse mit dem ganzen Sturm schon bedacht.